some more detailed things you can do with Google Slides, so past just the basics. So helpful thing, if you go to help and keyboard shortcuts, this basically has keyboard shortcuts for anything you want to do in Google Slide. These are really helpful in basically any part of Google Slides that you want. So that's always there in help, the keyboard shortcuts. In Speaker Notes, if you add a note down here, you can display it in your slide when you're actually presenting. So that can be helpful if you forget specifically what you're talking about. So I'm going to go into my second slide. So we talked about before in the first video how my background is a little bit dark. It kind of contrasts with my text. And even though white was a little bit better, it's still not super helpful. So if I click into this, I can actually change my box so it's a different color. So if I just click on fill color and choose white, that makes it way easier for my audience to read, and I still have that cool rainforest background. So whatever size you change this box to, it changes the fill of that box. So I could make it so it's just the words, doesn't matter. So that's an easy way to keep the background you want, but still make it so you can read the text without changing the background transparency. Another thing I can do with Google Slides that's useful is to link different words and text to different slides or different sites. So when I go up to Insert and then down, to Link, I can link it to a different place, but you can also link it to a slide in this presentation. So I numbered and labeled my slides. So where are rainforests? I want to link to slide 5, where are rainforests. So then I can apply it, and it actually makes it a link. So then when it's active and students are using it, not just you presenting, they can go to those different links, whether it's in the slide or an outside source from Google Slides. So one more time again, I just highlight it, I click Insert, and then Link, and I can link it to an actual link, like a URL, or just click Sides in this presentation, and this one I want to go to, Who Lives in the Rainforest, and apply. So those are now active links in my slides. The next thing, if I want to add in sound, so say you wanted your student who couldn't read very well to read part of the Google slide, you could add in your own video that just has sounds that starts right away. So for this example, I'm just going to insert a video from YouTube that has rainforest sound. So if I go to YouTube, I'm going to go to Share, copy that link, go back into my slide presentation, and then just paste that link in. So that's the one I want. I select it. And then since this actually isn't to watch video, it's just for audio, because that's the one piece that Google Slides is missing, I'm going to put it in the bottom right-hand corner. I wouldn't suggest putting it over here, because that's where the arrows and stuff are when you're presenting. So once it's there, I can right-click and do a few different things. So I'm going to go to Video Options, and the first thing I'm going to do is autoplay when presenting. So the first time they go to this slide when they're presenting, it'll just autoplay. I can start it at wherever I want and end it wherever I want as well. If it was just a video that I wanted them to watch but not hear, I can also mute the audio. But for this purpose, we're actually using it just for audio, so I want to leave it like that. So then when I present, I can go to present a few different ways. I can view and present, or it tells me the shortcut, which is also in my help key shortcuts, or I can just push play up here. So I'm going to push play. And my rainforest sounds are loading. Once it loads, it'll just automatically start, so we can hear those rainforest sounds. That's kind of a cool background to use. So I'm going to just pause it for now so it's not distracting, but that would just continue the whole time they're on those slides. A few different things when you're presenting. You can change the slide this way. You can click the arrows, press play. If I just click us on the screen, it will change my slide as well. And there's a few different tools up here. So a pointer tool can be helpful to point out exactly what you're talking about if you're presenting it rather than the student working on it on their own. You can go to notes, and notes shows you what you put in those speaker notes. Or if you go to audience tools, and you can get to audience tools by also clicking question and answer. Audience tools, and then you want to just click start new. This allows your presentation to become more interactive. So now this is on, and the students can go to that slide. So we'll close out of here. So if I click on it, it's going to open up into those questions. So ask a question. So you can use this a few different ways. You could have students ask questions about the actual presentation you're doing. Maybe they don't understand, or have them ask a question. Or you can also use it as you ask them a question, then they have to answer it here. So for example, we're on the slide, where are rainforests? You might ask them that after presenting the slide, and they would have to say rainforests are, and then wherever they say they are, and they submit, and it will come up as them submitting. So this is just an easy, quick check for you to see how engaged they were and what they're remembering when you're presenting. So now if I go back into my slide, this option allows me to see my speaker notes still, allows me to download the whole thing as a PDF or a PowerPoint too as well. So when I exit, I can see those questions on this page, but I can also see the questions that we just did if I go up to tools and I go to question and answer history. Then I can see them on the side, and that's just a quick way for you to check. So those are some cool things that you can do with Google Slides.